Open up your phone. Go to your text messages with your wife. Now scroll up. Past today, past this week. Read what the two of you have been sending each other. Pick up at 5. Did you grab milk? Running late. A thumbs up. Somewhere in there, every message between you turned into a schedule. You didn't stop loving her. You got buried. The weight came and the words went quiet. And the quiet that feels like peace to you can feel like a closed door to her. Stay with me for 9 minutes and I'll give you one thing to send her tonight that has nothing to do with logistics. And the reason it matters more than you think. 250 years ago, a man sat in a rented room in Philadelphia, carrying more weight than you or I will ever hold. His name was John Adams. He was helping build a country out of nothing. The war was on, men were dying, and if it failed, he'd be hanged for treason. And in the middle of it all, he wrote to his wife. Not once, not on anniversaries. More than 1,100 letters between John and Abigail survive to this day. They're kept in a museum in Boston. The day after he voted to declare independence, the biggest day of his public life, he sat down that night and wrote to Abigail. The weight of a war and a brand new nation, and he still would not go quiet on his wife. That's the whole thing right there. A man under the heaviest pressures imaginable who refused to disappear from his marriage. Adams understood something most men forget. Connection is not built in the big moments. It's built in the small ones, the steady ones, the ones that feel too small to matter. Now, a researcher named John Gottman spent years in a lab watching married couples answer each other in ordinary moments. The little reaches. She points out the moon. She tells you something about her day. And 6 years later, he checked who was still married. The couples who stayed together answered the small reaches about 86% of the time. The ones who divorced, about a third. Not the fights, not the money, not the big talks. The small reaches, caught or missed day after day. Adams was doing it with a quill and a candle. 100 small reaches across an ocean in the middle of a war. Miss enough of them, and she stops feeling like you're a partner and starts feeling like your roommate. Now, she won't always say it. She'll just go quiet too. And there's a cost when a man stops reaching. You won't see it coming, and it sneaks up on good men especially. I'll name it before we're done. I learned what those small reaches are worth in the last place you would expect. Christmas morning, 2004, Baghdad, Iraq. I had set up a wireless internet system in our barracks so soldiers could reach home. We split the cost between us and kept it running ourselves. That Christmas, keeping it alive was on me. And that morning, when every soldier wanted the same thing, time with their families on Christmas Day, the sky went thick and gray and the clouds swallowed the signal. Nothing got through. Christmas morning in Baghdad, me and a couple guys working the problem. For about an hour, we fought through the weather to try to pull that signal back. And then the clouds broke. Back in the barracks, guys were at their bunks, on their laptops, watching their kids open presents, hearing their wives' voices, 10,000 miles from home. It was one of the most beautiful things I'd ever seen. I would happily fight on Christmas morning to hold a line open across the world. And the shorter distance, the 10 feet across your own living room, is the one a man forgets to cross. So the one thing you can do tonight pick up your phone, that same phone with the grocery lists on it, and send her one message that has nothing to do with logistics. It's going to feel too small to matter. Send it anyway. It can be 6 words. Thinking about you, no reason, just M. Or just thought about you and smiled. That's a reach. One small letter across the kitchen instead of across an ocean. You're not trying to fix everything tonight. You're telling her she still crosses your mind. Then the second thing. This one is in person, and it is harder. Tonight, she will do the small thing she always does. She will tell you something about her day. Point something out. Ask what you're thinking. A small reach. Easy to miss when you're running on empty. Catch one. Just one. Put that phone face down. Turn your body towards her. 10 seconds with your eyes on her and nowhere else. And if the distance has been long, you can name it plainly. I've been somewhere else lately. I'm working on it. I wanted you to know I see it. No speech, no big apology. One honest sentence from a man deciding to come back. Now let me tell you what will happen the first time. You will send that text, and she might answer, "You okay?" A little guarded, a little suspicious. That is not rejection. That is a woman who got used to the quiet, checking to see if you really mean it. One reach doesn't undo a long silence. It is the first deposit in an account you've been drawing down for a while. Keep showing up. And to make it stick, tie it to something you already do. When your hand hits the handle coming home, let that be your cue. Hand on handle, one reach tonight. A month from now, open your phone again. Scroll up through the messages. And let it not all be schedules. Let some of it be you reaching for her. Now the cost I promised you? A marriage rarely ends in one big fight. It goes quiet. 100 small reaches nobody answered until one day she stops reaching too. That is the silence you're turning around tonight. Real quick before you go, if this hits something in you, tap the like button. It puts this in front of another good man sitting in his own driveway right now, phone in his hand, not sure what to send. Subscribe so the next one finds you on the night you need it. And leave one word in the comments, the first word that hit you when you scrolled up and saw all those schedules. I read every one. If you know a man who's gone quiet at home, send him this. That's how this spreads. One good man to another. Now, Adam's carried a war and a new nation, and he still wrote his wife. Good men carry a heavy load and still reach. They send one message, they catch one reach, they come back. The weight you carry is real, but it's not heavier than a revolution. The line home was always open. You just have to be the man who reaches across it. So, go reach.